All right, let's go. Okay, it's streaming. All right, welcome back to Composites Weekly, Day 1, CAMX 2024. And I have Drew Simmons of MVP. Drew, thanks for stopping by. They're located over at BB33. If you're watching this live on LinkedIn, you go check them out because they've got some really interesting technology.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk about. And let's just jump right into it, Drew. First, and before we get into it, how's the show so far? I know you've got a lot of traffic over your way.
It's been really good. I've been coming to these for a while, so the first few hours is usually a good gauge of how it's going to go. And I would say if it continues like it has, I think it'll be a really successful show for us, which is really exciting.
Absolutely. All right, so now we can get into the good stuff.
Let's do it.
All the formalities. I mean, we've done it. So I want to pull this up because this is. Let's see if our listeners. Yeah, it's visible now. So I was reading this recently, and this really excited me because, with all the talk about AI, artificial intelligence, and where the technology is going, you guys have partnered with a company. Is it Lesta USA?
Yep.
And what's unique about this, what I was intrigued is it's a robotic solution, but it's something that doesn't need to be heavily programmed.
Exactly.
So I'll let you describe it. It sounds like there's a lot of learning that this thing is going through.
Sure.
Self-learning.
So some of the history of this. So Lesta is a company out of Italy. And so they were they've been around for 20 to 25 years.
Okay.
And we have been implementing our equipment through our distribution partners internationally with Lesta for 15, 20 years, really successfully.
Right.
So the really cool thing about this robot, and now that we're able through Lesta USA, which is working with Lesta, they have the rights to distribute this in the US, and we are the exclusive partner for the composites industry. So the really cool thing about the Lesta, it's a self-teaching robot, and so a lot when people hear robotics, they think, oh well, they're just going to take jobs, right? Or oh hey, I've gone into so many places, I'm sure you have, that they had a really bad experience bringing a robot in. And so
they train it and then they leave them and something goes wrong.
The programmer leaves, they get more money elsewhere. And so the cool thing about this is that you take your best operator or your best operators and they are actually training the robot. And so they go into teaching mode, they spray the part just like they would. And then all you have to do is teach it once. And then the robot has that recipe stored. And so when the next part comes up, it scans it, brings it up, and it sprays it automatically. And one of the really cool things is just the ability for, you've been in these plants, right? So gel coat operators, people that are running chop guns. There's people that have been in this industry for 30, 40 years running these guns. And guess what? A lot of them are retiring, leaving, and there's not a whole lot of people that want to come in and fill those jobs, right? And so I think it's really, it's a necessity that companies are seeing. This has to evolve, and this has to be a part of our portfolio. And so we're really excited to be able to offer this solution to the market. I think it makes a ton of sense for anybody spraying gel coat, anybody chopping fiberglass. Not only do you get the labor savings and utilizing your labor in a better way, but it's also quality. You can actually spray the part, and then if you want to speed it up to 20%, you can. So if you want to get a little faster throughput, you can't go and just crank it up and double the speed because you're going to lose some of your quality, but you can get some faster throughput as well. And so
explain to me, how does it learn with no programming? It's modeling, obviously, the operator. How does that work?
So that's way above my head as well. I'm just the sales guy, but but from my limited knowledge is and if you come over to our booth, BB33, please come and see it. We've got a lot of videos as well, but
for sure.
So you grab the gun, you put it in teaching mode, and it's just got all sorts of stuff in this arm that is just memorizing how that operator.
Oh, I see.
It's got a PLC, a control that is downloading all that information.
Okay.
The robot can move. It's really it feels good in your hand, so it doesn't feel awkward.
Doesn't feel like you're trying to work against
No,
it.
yeah, you're not working against it by any means. And so, however, the really smart people that designed that arm. And if you come by our booth, we've got Derek DeGeese from Lesta USA with us. I'm sure he'd be able to explain that to you fully as well. As far as the all the inner workings, but yeah. It's cool.
So this would be, I mean, for gel coat operators, chop gun operators, anybody that's doing any kind of open layup type application.
Yes.
They could this could be incorporated into
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah, anybody spraying.
Okay. So is it a new system, or does this technology it's obviously a whole new system, right? That is designed around the MVP pumping system.
Right.
It's not like something that can be incorporated into an existing spray system, right?
Yeah. So I mean, and we get that question quite a bit, and so when you're looking at robotics, we really want to make it successful for the customer. And so
absolutely.
I would love to be able to come in and use your 25-year-old pump that's still running and make it work. But
yeah, you want to start at the ground, at the ground floor, and build it up the right way using all the right stuff.
Yeah, and one of the things that we talk to people about is that I think part of the reason why robotics, and obviously there is robotics and composites, but part of the reason why there has been slower adoption is composites is different than making a car, than doing any of that stuff, right? And so really why it's a great partnership with us and Lesta USA is that we have those years of experience of handling the materials. If you talk to anybody, the robot is easy. The robot just does what you tell it to.
Right.
It's all of the material handling, the temperature, the making sure that you're getting all that good stuff, right? And us being able to control all that before it gets to the robot is what's going to make it successful.
Yeah. If you would, just as an example, catalyst, adjusting catalyst with the temperature. If you're adjusting your MEKP, during colder climates or warmer temperatures, whatever, it's taught to do that as well. Depending on the
I mean, ideally you're controlling your climate, right? And so that's the big thing is this, especially if you're spraying in a booth, and we are making sure that your gel coat, your resin is at the same temperature, right? So inline heaters. If you need to heated lines, we use buffer drums so that you're never running out of material, and that's heating up before it even goes to the robot. So really, it's not even about having to change your percentage, but it's just controlling the material, right? And so, if you can make sure that material is delivered to the robot at the same temperature every time, then you can get rid of all those variables.
This is incredible. I think it's a meeting a need in the marketplace because, as you said, there's a segment of the population that has the skill, and to me, it is a skill. Anybody,
it's 100% a skill.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You learn this. It's almost like an art form where you get somebody that really knows what they're doing, being able to lay it down correctly using controlled spray techniques, and it's like you said, there's very few people that want to replace those people,
and you can't mimic that with a CAD program, right? I mean, if you've been to any of these plants, and these people are amazing, right? And they the way that it really is a trade, and it really is a skill, and I think that's why so many companies fight over these people, because they're really highly valued, and
and then they're attracted to whoever pays the top dollar, so they're running.
And the cool thing about this is you are giving them a new piece of technology that really brings even a bigger sense of pride. They can go home and say, I program robots, right? And it's 100% true. And so, it's really cool. And you're able to amplify the efforts of your best operators. And the Lesta USA, who we're partnered with, they have a different part of their business. It's all steelworks, and they use all this equipment in their facilities. And so, it's really cool.
I don't want to put you on the spot, but are there any companies out there that these are actively being tested in or being?
Yeah, so we've got a lot. So as far as the robots themselves in the USA, so Lesta USA started in the metal world, doing metal coatings, and then they went to the wood market, and now partnering with us is really the first step in the composites. And so as far as in the US, we've got several conversations going on with folks, and a lot of people are holding their cards until next year for all the craziness going on in the world. But we've got several conversations. We don't have anybody in the States right now spraying it, but I would say that what we've been telling people is is we can give you tons of videos, tons of evidence of this exact same thing working in Europe for the past 20, 25 years. And so there's some other cool stuff if you come by the booth that we're showing as well. There's a package called Nitrotherm, which uses nitrogen gas instead of with your compressed air, and it really reduces your overspray considerably, along with this robotic technology. So
wow.
And
training, I mean, everything is, you know, from start to finish. It's all
install, all training, all that good stuff comes along with it. We're not going to leave you hanging. I mean, MVP, we've built our reputation on service, so we're not going to partner with people that don't have that same mindset, and we're not going to change that either.
Well, I think if you know, the last few years have taught us anything, it's that you got to be prepared with technology like this, because it is harder and harder to retain workers or hire good qualified people out there that can take the place or that have those skill sets.
You know, as you have the new generation coming in, what excites me is what are they going to do with this technology, right? And I think that may allow us to pull some of those people in that would never think about this when you're telling them, hey, look, you're going to be programming a robot, right? Making some, I mean, stuff we make in composites is cool, right? I mean, people, it's fun.
So I want to mention, I got the website, Drew, down at the bottom, mvpind.com. You guys are located again. It's BB
33.
33. Yeah. There you go.
Come see us.
Drew, been fun, man.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Yeah, thanks for coming by. Enjoy the show, and best of success to you guys.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yep.